Knock on wood, lumber liquidators barking up the wrong tree as the housing recovery continues to falter. Housing titan Don Peebles takes smart money on the way. More bad news on the housing front. A declining share of Americans are moving into new homes. It is proving to be a huge drag on both the housing market and GDP. Here now to discuss the impact on the real estate industry is CEO and chairman of Peebles Corporation, Don Peebles. I want to ask you about both those things because Nicole Petalides was just talking about the traffic inside lumber liquidators, that it's way down. That's why we're seeing that stock down. Not a lot of people in there. And at the same time, the mobility rate, people going between homes, very low. Does this reflect what you see in the housing market right now?
Yeah, it does a little bit because there are a couple of things happening that are creating this problem. One, that many people are still upside down on their mortgages. Two, we've had a rapidly increasing home ownership rate since the 1980s. People who own their homes are less likely to move anyway. When they're upside down on their mortgage, they're even less likely to move. Renters tend to move. Also, first-time home buyers, they're ones who buy and they move to a new location where they can get a better job, afford housing. And the biggest challenge, which is good for my business, is there's no inventory. And so there's not been a lot of capital out there financing developments for, say, more moderate to middle-income housing. In fact, right now in New York, the controller of New York City has got a new initiative to support small women-owned minority businesses to create new inventory for housing. But I think inventory is a real big issue here.
So that's a lot of stickiness in different places across the market. Which would you say has to free up first? I mean, do you need to get the young people to actually have some money so that they want to buy rather than rent? Or do you think the inventory has to come first? Or what has to happen in order to get things moving?
Inventory first. I think inventory.
Really? Because you got to be brave to do that.
Yeah, but we got to get inventory. We got to get people out of starter homes and get them out of those into trading up. And then that frees up starter homes for the younger group of people. And then we got to do something with the student loan situation. I think the president has to do something to really tackle the student loan situation.
So how do you get people to want to trade up? Because certainly the government's done everything they can. I mean, interest rates have been at a historic low forever. So if that doesn't make it happen, then what makes it happen?
Well, I think the free market. Look, you know, interest rates are artificially low, and that is keeping people in their homes because who in their right mind right now with interest rates rising on the horizon who've refinanced or bought a home in the last couple of years at these low interest rates, why would they move? Because, you know, they won't
Well, maybe because rates are going up and this is their last chance to get a new mortgage at this low rate before they go up.
Well, let's hope there's not the last chance. I think that we need to have the free market take place here, and that means new inventory, interest rates that are more realistic, and hopefully that will, and an economy that's stimulating more jobs.
Has there been a fundamental change in housing? I mean, you know, when I was growing up, it was sort of your nest egg. It was where you saved, where your parents bought a house when you were little. They built all this equity in it, and then maybe you sold it when you retired and you had all that money to retire on. Now I think people don't really see it as a great investment. It's more just a place to live. Have things fundamentally changed?
I think they've fundamentally changed, like what you just said, but also people looked at buying real estate, and especially from 2004 to about 2007, as a commodity that they were basically trading stock almost.
Yeah.
And so it no longer became a longer-term investment. Real estate's a long-term investment. You need to hold it for about 10 years. And if you hold it for 10 years, it outpaces any other investment in terms of, you know, just stability and outpacing inflation. And I think people look at it now differently. They don't look at it as though it's an opportunity to have a nest egg for retirement, for example.
Don, thank you so much. Always great to talk to you. Such great comments. All right.